Before the hurricane brought us here to Florida, we had planned to come to you tonight from Arizona to kick off a special series of broadcasts from battleground states in the run-up to the midterm elections. A tight race in Arizona could help determine control of the U.S. Senate. We did visit the state yesterday to talk to the two candidates vying for the seat now held by Jeff Flake.
I'm not real fond of either of them.
Two Arizona voters, one a Republican, one a Democrat. There's one thing they and many people we spoke to in Arizona agree on. The race to replace departing Senator Jeff Flake has gotten ugly.
While we were in harm's way in uniform, Kyrsten Sinema was protesting us in a pink tutu.
I'm disgusted by all of it.
There was a time we were all ladies and gentlemen.
Was there?
Yeah.
Okay. It is between Democrat Kyrsten Sinema, a three-term congresswoman who voted 62% of the time with the president's party rather than her own.
Every one of us understands how important this election is.
And Republican Congresswoman Martha McSally, a former Air Force combat pilot and one-time Trump critic who has lately fully embraced the commander-in-chief.
When you're flying airplanes, the airplane doesn't care if you're a girl or a boy. They just care if you fly well and you shoot straight.
Never before have Arizonans sent a woman to the U.S. Senate. Our latest poll shows the candidates separated by just 3 points. That's within the margin of error. This is also interesting. 1/3 of Arizona voters say they'll be making choices based on local issues, but about 2/3 will be voting on national issues.
And the difference couldn't be more clear.
There are differences over immigration, tax reform, and perhaps most significantly, health care.
I went without health insurance for a time in my own childhood when my family was struggling with poverty, and so I understand how important it is.
Who pays for the health care?
Well, right now, Arizonans are paying, and they're paying too much.
A key issue is coverage for the nearly 3 million Arizonans with pre-existing conditions. In Congress, Sinema voted to keep that coverage under Obamacare. McSally voted to repeal, but says she still wants to cover those with pre-existing conditions.
Should insurance companies be required to provide affordable coverage for people with pre-existing conditions?
Absolutely. We need to move towards a system that provides more choice so that the cost comes down. The Obamacare experiment has failed.
Hi, we're local volunteers with the Arizona Republican Party.
Both sides have been urging voters to turn out. If Sinema succeeds, she'll be the first Democrat elected to the Senate here in 30 years. Perhaps because Arizona is still so red, that is not a selling point for her.
I think Arizonans don't care whether the person who's serving in office has an R or a D behind their name. What they do care about is who's going to get stuff done and who's serving their interests.
That sounds like somebody who's not trying to run as a Democrat. So, look, her party is going so far left right now and are so far out of the mainstream of Arizona values. But the bottom line is she's a Democrat.